Hey, what's up guys, it's your boy Red Sugar, and today we are going to be looking at my entire collection of LEGO Speed Champions. I do apologize for the hat here, I just got off work. I wear a hat all day, it happens. But yeah, so this is the video that I've been really excited for. As you can see, I've got all the different cars here, and I'm just going to be taking them down one by one and going through maybe features that I like about them, or if I can't remember anything, just briefly skip right past them, while still picking them up and holding them and being like, yeah, I like this. Without further ado, of course that was not much of an intro, it's not much to say, let's just hop right on into this. So what we're first going to do is go from this shelf to this one to the middle and then make our way down. The first one up is the Lamborghini Urus, and I gotta say this is probably my favorite SUV that I have. I really like the top. It's all one piece and it comes off, and of course it looks really cool. It states that you can put multiple people in there, but you have to have them wearing a helmet, otherwise their hair pieces or whatever else just doesn't fit in the car itself, which kind of sucks because, you know, it is more of a car that you would see on the streets. So having the minifigures look a little bit more casual would have been nice, but of course, you know, I'm not all that mad about it. And the next car that we're going to be looking at is the Jaguar. I don't remember what this is called, to be honest. It looks kind of similar to the Urus, but not exactly. You can see that this one is only a two-seater. You can't fit anyone else in the back, which is a little funny for an SUV, but it's cool. I really like the color. I think it looks amazing. Taillights are really nice. It's got a nice fat wing on the back. And that's pretty much all that I have to say about this one. Up next, we have the Audi rally car. I don't remember exactly what it's called. I think it's called the Audi Quattro, probably. Honestly, one of the most underwhelming cars that I have. I don't know why I expected more from this car. It looks really cool, and I like the front bumper, the skirts. It looks good, but when you compare it to the rest of the cars, it just, you know, it stands out as being underwhelming. Good build though. Up next, we have one of my very first cars. In fact, I bought two cars at once my first time buying these. So this is by technicality my first car, but it's one of my two very first cars. This is the Nissan GTR. When I was building my two first cars, I'll tell you what the other one is. Actually, in a little bit. I remember this one was my favorite out of the two. It's still a really cool build, and I remember thinking that, you know, the front bumper having these plates right here was a really cool design. Little did I know I'd be seeing more of those later down the line. I remember thinking that the bumper with the exhaust pipes, how they did that was amazing. Overall, I love this car. That's the first shelf done. Next shelf, we have the Demon. I absolutely adore this car. This is so nice. I love Demons and Hellcats, so to have a Lego version of this, I really, really enjoy it. Small build, it is a 6-stud. This entire shelf, in fact, is a 6-stud, so I'm not going to repeat myself over and over again. Them not having as much detail as the other ones, it sucks, but it's also like, what can you do about it? It still looks cool. They fit in a lot of detail into these things, and I'm really happy with the way they come out. Up next, we got another one of the Dodges. Whether this is a Charger or a Challenger, I personally can't remember. I want to say it's a Charger. It is in fact a Charger. There's a sticker on the side that says it. I really like this car. It looks a lot like Don's, and it came in a 2-pack with the Demon. So out of the 2-packs, I've noticed a trend where the car that I think I'm going to enjoy the most, for me being the Demon, is actually my second favorite. Not saying it's bad, but this is way cooler. That engine sticking out is perfect. Up next, we have the McLaren Senna. Now, this was the one that I was talking about when I bought two for the first time. I bought the Senna and the GTR at the same time. And the Senna, it looks amazing. And at the time, the reason why I wanted the Senna was because I played a lot of Forza. So in the game, you do get to have this car. I do have the car in the game. So to see it in real life, I was like, oh, that's really cool. It's super... It's like a throwback, so I decided to get this one, and I love the meat cleavers that you have as rear lights. I think the whole thing looks really good. Up next, you got the Ferrari F40. Now, this is just a classic car. Everybody knows this car. I bought it a little bit later, but that's mostly because I had heard from somebody on YouTube that this car and a couple of other cars that I had purchased were going to be retired sets pretty soon, so I decided to get this one. Not to say that I dislike it, but it was one of the cars that I was more hesitant to buy, or at least I was willing to buy later down the line, because it was matched up against some of my favorite cars. But the Ferrari F40 is still a classic car, and I feel like it would be blasphemous to say it's not fucking beautiful. Up next, we have the Porsche 911, and this is oftentimes talked about in the LEGO Speed Champions community or world or whatever you want to call it as one of the best builds. To be honest, I kind of disagree. One of the coolest things about these is that these headlights go on in a way that I've not seen before, and I've still yet to see with other cars that I've purchased. But just the way that it looks, to me, makes up for whatever the build may have been. I really can't remember. It could have been perfectly fine. I don't know. The way that it came out looks extremely spot on, which is exactly what you want, so this is perfect. Up next, we have the Camaro NASCAR. I still have the gas pump inside of it. Just gonna take that out for the sake of the video. But I was a little, I guess you could say, disappointed when I found out that this was going to be a NASCAR build, just because I personally don't care too much about NASCAR. I can't lie, it came out really good looking, and if it wasn't a NASCAR, there wouldn't be so many stickers, but it still looks really cool, and I'm pretty happy with it. I would have preferred to just do a regular Camaro, but I can't say I'm upset. So up next, we have a car that I did a video on very recently. It is the Dodge Dragster. I'm just gonna say it right now, my favorite car that I have, easily. It's exactly why it gets its own shelf, which is smaller than the rest, to just show you how big this thing is in comparison to every other car on here. Overall though, this car is extremely detailed. Of course, there's not too much detail that you can put in the front aside from the stickers, but this engine with the hoses, the spoiler, the random thing that's sticking out on the side that you don't have on the other side, it just all looks really good. And the fact that it's so big just makes it so easy to see on the shelf. So I really, really like this one. Up next, we have the McLaren Elva. And there's kind of a funny story about this, because if you notice, there is a minifig in there that doesn't come with the set. When I went to go buy this car, amongst every car that came out this season, I actually became a LEGO VIP member, whatever you call it. So they gave me this cool little keychain, and I noticed it's the exact same blue as the Elva. I put them in the passenger seat, and I make sure that the little LEGO logo is always seen, just because I feel like it's very fitting. This is an interesting car because it's the only car that I have that is a convertible. Whether or not there are other LEGO Speed Champions that are convertibles, I'm not sure of. But, I mean, well, any LEGO Speed Champions car can be a convertible if you just take the windscreen off. But the fact that this doesn't come with one, and the fact that it doesn't look like you're able to fit one, just kind of makes it look unique. I really like this car, which is surprising because when I was making it, I remember thinking this was going to be the car that I just, I got to fill the collection. Not because I necessarily wanted it or anything like that, but it really surprised me with just how good of a build it is. The curved doors, it's just all around nice. This is a very surprisingly cool ass car. Up next, we have the Koenigsegg Jesko. This car, although it wasn't my favorite car out of all of the builds, it's still a really, really nice car. And fun fact, my favorite car ever is the Koenigsegg Agera. So, well, specifically the Agera RS, but this, every Koenigsegg kind of looks the same, whether it be the 1-to-1, the Koenigsegg Agera, the Regera, or any of those other ones. They almost all look the exact same aside from color schemes and small details. So the fact that the Jesko looks a lot like the Agera, it's easily one of my favorites. I don't know too much about the Jesko yet, so I may have to look into that. Maybe it'll top the Agera, maybe it'll be my new favorite, but for now it's still the Agera. But Koenigsegg is Koenigsegg. This car looks great. Up next is my personal favorite car in terms of the way that it looks. Now, I'm gonna sound a little hypocritical because I said this was my favorite car, but not for the design. Well, when I say design, I mean the way that it looks, like the cosmetics of the car. The size and the thinness and everything like that makes it my favorite, but the color scheme of this Lamborghini Huracan is so, so nice. And in fact, I think I'm missing a piece. Look right there. That concerns me a lot. I really hope... I'm gonna Google what the actual car looks like because that's wrong. So I gotta find out what's up with that. That bugs me so much, so much. But still, black and gold looks so good. That bugs me so much. Up next, we have another Ferrari. This is the F8. This was another car that I was kind of hesitant on getting because I really didn't care too much about it. When I saw all the other cars that it was lined up against, I didn't see it as top tier. Not that I'm hating on Ferrari, because obviously I said that earlier about the F40. It's just, I don't know, the way that it looks doesn't wow me too much, but when I built it, I really liked it. It's kind of one that, you know, my expectations match the build process or the way it looks. It looks the way it does. I don't hate it, I don't love it. It's cool, fills up my collection. Good enough, I guess. Up next, we have the Jaguar E1 car. I know that E1 is the electric version of F1. These, and I say these because it came in a double pack with the Jaguar SUV. These two cars were the ones that I really wanted the most out of, I believe it was the 2020 set, because the color scheme looks really good. That kind of bluish aqua mixed with the black. Both cars look beautiful with this. If it was any other color scheme, I don't know if I would have wanted it as much. I do like how hollow it is on the inside. If you can see straight through the middle. It looks really good. And the build process for this little roll cage slash bar door opening, I don't know what you want to call this, I really like that a lot, and it scared me because of how much you have to bend it, but Lego's pretty durable. All right, we are on the very last shelf. We have the Dodge Challenger 72, 78, I think. No, this should be a 68. What is this? I can't remember, so be it. But of course, this was also a double pack. It came with the Dragster, and it looks so good. I would like to have it with my other Dodges, being the Demon and the Charger. Yeah, Charger. But unfortunately, the way that it looks, the way that I currently have it, I prefer it just because I have all the newer ones sitting right here. And when I say newer, of course, this is the 2021 collection. I really like these rims. Nothing more to say about it. Oh, except for the color. This purple is amazing, and it stands out quite a bit in comparison to all the other colors that I have here, because nothing else is this vibrant, meanwhile still being so dark. It looks really cool. Now, when I said nothing else looks so vibrant, I immediately hesitated because this Supra is so yellow. It looks really cool. This is probably one of the better cars that came out of the 2021. I'm probably going to say that for every car just because they all look so good, but not much I can say else about it. It just looks so good. I love Supras, and even the newer Supras. I know some people hate on them for reasons. I don't care. A car, you know, looks good. I did have some issues with the car when I was making my video, being that the sticker placement was a little stupid. Not on my part, I'm talking about on Lego. The fact that, you know, some stickers cut off at a certain point, so why couldn't you do it with a Toyota logo? I just saw a couple of issues with it. Nothing too big in my opinion. It still looks really good on this collection. And the flatness of this, I really like that on cars. I really like when it's got a really long nose. So, yeah. Up next, we have the Corvette C8R. I actually almost called this a C6 again. If you saw the video, you know what I'm talking about. Probably, and this isn't a bad thing, probably my least favorite car out of the entire 2021 collection. It's not a bad car. It's got a big amount of competition. This does not meet the standard that I see with either of these two or the other one that we're about to talk about right now. It's not a bad car though. The color scheme, the gray and yellow, looks beautiful, and the wing having the red tips. Meanwhile, the rear view mirrors also having those red tips. It looks great. It really is. Just not the best one. Up next, we have the 1968 Corvette, and this is my favorite out of the duo pack, obviously, with the Corvette C8.R. Really nice build. I love how long the nose is. Like I said earlier, it's just something that I like about it. The flat roof is something that a lot of people were complaining about it. Honestly, I don't have much of an issue with it. I know that it's not historically correct or whatever, but I think it still looks really, really good, even if it doesn't fit the standard. It's really good. Now, the next car that I'm going to do is a car that I actually have a video coming up on pretty soon. In my last video, I had said that I had burned through all the cars that you're currently able to get, and I plan on getting retired sets. This is a retired set. There will be a video on it very, very soon, probably tomorrow. But this is the Mercedes-Benz AMG GT3. It has a really, really cool feature where you can take off the front bumper. I actually have it sitting right behind it, and you can replace it with another bumper. So you can see there's two. I'll let you see how it looks with the first one. We'll take that off because it's not my favorite one. And we'll put on my favorite one, which is the second one that you make. So, yeah. This is a 6 stud, so I do forgive it for being a little bit less detailed than some of the 8 studs. But overall, this is a great building process. One of my favorite features was the wing, which when you put it on like this, and then you reel it up so that it creates that more natural look. The yellow, the gray, the white, the black, great color scheme, and it's in my top 5 for sure. If I had to rank all these cars, it would take me a long time because I always say, oh yeah, that's my favorite car. That's my favorite car. This is my favorite car. Okay, this is my favorite car, let's be real. But, you know, trying to find that second place position would be extremely difficult. Maybe I will later, but it sounds like a lot of work. I don't know if I'll have the mental capability to list a second favorite. This takes the cake. But everything else is a close second, except for the C8.R in terms of the 2021 collection. And probably the Ferraris are a little bit lower too. But yeah, this is amazing. All right, guys, that is the entire collection that I have. I'll have another video coming up soon, like I said, talking about the Mercedes-Benz AMG GT3. If you do want to see that, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. You don't have to leave a like or a comment for me to post it because I'm going to post it regardless, but if you do subscribe, hopefully I'll come up in your subscription feed. That's pretty much it for today, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.